Welcome to Jesting Pilot. Join us as we revisit, explore, and discuss the texts, beliefs, and people informing the development of the Western Hermetic Tradition. If you would like to learn more, consider subscribing to Jesting Pilot. Like and share this video and visit our website, www.fromthequarries.com/jestingpilot. Iamblichus, c. 245-325 CE, was an influential Neoplatonic philosopher who further developed the Neoplatonic tradition initiated by Plotinus and expanded by Porphyry. Hailing from Syria, Iamblichus combined elements of Platonic, Aristotelian, Pythagorean, and other philosophical traditions with the religious practices of his time. He is particularly known for his emphasis on theurgy, the practice of invoking divine powers through rituals to achieve spiritual transformation. Iamblichus's philosophy represents a unique synthesis of metaphysics, ethics, and religious practice. Major ideas and structure of Iamblichus's philosophical system: hierarchical structure of reality. Like his predecessors, Iamblichus maintained a hierarchical structure of reality, with the one at the apex, followed by the intellect, nous, the world's soul, and the material world. However, he introduced additional intermediary levels between the one and the material world to account for the variety of divine beings, such as gods, angels, and demons. These intermediate beings played crucial roles in Iamblichus' understanding of theurgy and the soul's ascent. Theurgy and spiritual ascent. While Plotinus and Porphyry emphasized the role of philosophical contemplation in achieving spiritual ascent, Iamblichus placed greater importance on the practice of theurgy. He believed that through rituals, invocations, and the use of symbols, the soul could establish a connection with divine powers and receive their assistance in returning to its source. Theurgy, for Iamblichus, was essential for transcending the limitations of human reason and attaining spiritual enlightenment. The human soul and ethics. Iamblichus viewed the human soul as a divine spark that has descended into the material world and become entangled in its imperfections. He believed that the soul's ultimate goal is to return to its divine source, a process that requires purification and ascent through the hierarchical levels of reality. Iamblichus's ethics emphasized the importance of both moral virtues, such as wisdom, courage, and self-control, and religious practices like theurgy for facilitating the soul's spiritual journey. Pythagoreanism and mathematics. Iamblichus was deeply interested in Pythagoreanism and its emphasis on the mystical significance of numbers and mathematical relationships. He believed that mathematics could serve as a bridge between the material world and the divine realm, revealing the underlying order and harmony of the cosmos. Iamblichus's integration of Pythagorean thought into his philosophical system reflects his commitment to synthesizing diverse intellectual traditions. Reconciliation of philosophical and religious traditions. One of Iamblichus's key contributions to Neoplatonism was his attempt to reconcile the philosophical ideas of Plato, Aristotle, and other thinkers with the religious practices and beliefs of his time. He sought to demonstrate that both philosophy and religion were complementary paths towards spiritual enlightenment, and that their apparent differences could be reconciled through a deeper understanding of the hierarchical structure of reality and the role of theurgy. Iamblichus's philosophy represents a distinct development within the Neoplatonic tradition, marked by his emphasis on theurgy, the introduction of additional intermediary levels of reality, and the synthesis of philosophical and religious ideas. His work reflects the diverse intellectual currents of his time, and his unique contributions to the fields of metaphysics, ethics, and religious practice have had a lasting impact on subsequent generations of philosophers and theologians. Iamblichus disagreed with his predecessor, Porphyry, who held that philosophical contemplation alone was sufficient for the soul's ascent towards the divine. In his work De Mysteriis, Iamblichus argued that theurgy, a set of ritual practices involving the invocation of divine beings, was essential for individuals to attain spiritual enlightenment and reunite with the divine source. He believed that the material world, being so far removed from the one, required a more direct and tangible approach than pure contemplation. According to the anecdote, Iamblichus once demonstrated the power of theurgy to his skeptical contemporaries by performing a ritual near the banks of a river. After invoking the gods, a sudden and powerful gust of wind swept across the water, creating waves and stirring up the river. His contemporaries were amazed by this display of divine power, and Iamblichus used this event to argue for the importance and effectiveness of theurgical practices. This anecdote highlights Iamblichus's commitment to the practical aspects of Neoplatonic philosophy, emphasizing the role of theurgy in spiritual ascent. By integrating theurgy into the Neoplatonic framework, Iamblichus transformed the tradition and left a lasting impact on subsequent generations of Neoplatonists who continued to explore the relationship between philosophy and religious practice in their quest for spiritual enlightenment.